Okay, so today we're gonna do 3 more weeks to prelim oral. Okay, so today what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through two types of speed. Okay, so we're gonna go through two parties, different starting point and opposite direction. Now, just a quick recap. Remember the speed formula triangle. Don't stop talking or don't talk so much. Okay, so to find, so this is your divide and this is multiply. So a recap, distance is equals to speed times time. Distance is equals to speed times time. Speed equals to distance divided by time, and time is equals to distance divided by speed. Okay, so last week we went through common distance and we also went through common time. These are two separate instances, separate two types of question. So with a common distance, I can actually find the speed and time ratio. And with a common time, I can find the speed and distance ratio. So quick recap, is it? Yes, this is the flip ratio. So this is the, what we call the flip ratio or the reverse ratio. Okay, and this one is the same ratio. All right, so we went through this last week. If you need a recap, you can watch last week's lesson. All right, so for today, we're going to go through these questions. Question number 1. Okay, all right, now for this question, what happened here is this, where you have two towns. Okay, now always remember, whatever information is given to you, write it down in your distance time, distance timeline. Okay, so town V and town W is 624 kilometers apart. Now at 9:15, okay, so at this time, Jaslyn, traveling at a constant speed, left town V for town W. So she's going in this direction. Okay. At the same time, so which means at the same time, which is what time? Which is at 9:15 as well. You have Ken set off from W. So that means he is coming from the opposite direction. So Ken, again at 9:15 as well, coming from the opposite direction. Okay, Ken is coming from opposite direction. Jaslyn is coming from V, whereas Ken is coming from W. Coming from opposite direction at a speed which is faster than Jaslyn. So who is faster? Ken is faster than Jaslyn by 10 kilometers. Ken is faster than Jaslyn by 10 kilometers. Now, I can represent this in this model. Now, again, I'm going to repeat. Can every one of you turn on your cameras, please? Okay, now, when we talk about speed, when we say 10 kilometers per hour faster, what does that mean? It means in 1 hour, Ken travels 10 kilometers more than Jaslyn. So in 1 hour, okay, Ken covers 10 kilometers more than Jaslyn. This is what it means. Okay, now, so find Ken's speed if they meet at 1:15. So at some point, which point? That means from Jaslyn. So this is your 1:15 p.m. or at 13:15. Okay. What happened is that they meet. So there you have the line where it says, it shows that they meet at this point. So between 9:15 to 1:15, how many hours would that be? Anyone? How many hours would that be? Yes, Brian? 4 hours. Thank you. Okay. Now, Sharon, okay. All right, so that is 4 hours. 4 hours and 4 hours. Okay, now that means in 4 hours, if the speed of Jaslyn is 1 unit, that means in 4 hours, what is the distance covered by Jaslyn? If in 1 hour, she cover 1 unit, in 4 hours, she will cover 4 units. Similarly, in 1 hour, Ken covered 1 unit plus 10. So that means in 4 hours, Ken covered how many units? What is the distance covered by Ken in terms of units would be? Okay, now, if everyone is so shy, can you can you answer in the chat, please? Nobody can turn on camera except Pranati and Ryan. Okay, so this would be your 4 unit plus 40. Okay, so what I mean by when we say Ken in 1 hour covers 1 unit plus 10, so in 4 hours, so in 1 hour, this is 1 hour, so 2 hours will be 1 unit plus another 10. 3 hours and 4 hours. So this is how it looks like. So in 4 hours will be 4 unit plus 40. Okay, can you see this? So now, we know that the total distance is 624 kilometers. Now, so this means that 4 unit plus 4 unit and 40 must be equal to the total distance between town V and town W. So you have 8 units is equals to 624 minus 40 to give me 584. So from here, to find 1 unit will be 584 divided by 8 to give me 73. Now, so from here, I know that 1 unit is 73. Am I right? 1 unit is 73. That means the distance traveled by Jaslyn in 1 hour is 73. Then I can also say that Jaslyn's speed is equals to 73 kilometers per hour. Now, question asks for Ken's speed. So that means Ken's speed, okay, so that means Ken's speed will be equal to, because Ken can travel 10 kilometers more in 1 hour. So Ken's speed would be 73 plus 10 to give me 83 kilometers per hour. Okay, in 3 kilometers per hour. All right. Can anyone, any questions? Okay, now I'm gonna ask you one more time to turn on your cameras, please. Is everyone around? Yes. J speed is 73 because it is 1 unit. 73 per hour, kilometers per hour means the distance traveled by Jaslyn in 1 hour. So we know that here in 1 hour, Jaslyn can cover 1 unit, whereas Ken cover 1 unit plus 10. Okay, all right. Okay, phew. Anybody else? No? Any questions? Okay, now let's look at question number 2. So in question 2, we have a blue van and a gold van. A blue van left X for town Y at the same time. At the same time when a gold van left Y to X. So blue goes from X to Y. So blue goes from X to Y. Whereas the gold goes from Y to X. This way. And blue goes this way. Okay. So what is the distance in? Yes, the distance in 1 hour. So there I have distance travel in 1 hour. Okay, all right. Okay, so now, we have the blue van left town X towards town Y, whereas the gold van left Y towards town X. Now, we know that the average speed of the blue van and the gold van, so this is blue and this is gold. So the blue van is traveling at 65 kilometers per hour, while the gold van is traveling at 82 kilometers per hour. Okay, so this is what information is given to us. Okay, now, so the two vans pass each other at a point 34 kilometers from the midway. So that means this is the midpoint. This is the midpoint. Two vans pass each other 34 kilometers from the midpoint. Now, which van is traveling faster? Which van is traveling faster? Anyone? G, gold van. Very good. So gold van is traveling faster. So that means at a given time, gold van would cover more distance than the blue van, right? Yes? Okay, so at this point, we know that when they meet, the gold van would have definitely gone further than the blue van here, which is 34 kilometers from the midpoint. So from this point, you have 34 kilometers. So that means from this midpoint, you have 34 kilometers. Now, remember that this is half and half, right? So this midpoint, you treat it like a mirror image. Yes, G covered an extra 34. So if it's a mirror image, if I have a 34 on this side, I must also have a 34 on this side, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is just simply to put it in simple words. If you have 34 on one side, you must have 34 on the other side. And then you have the midpoint, which is here, is your midpoint. Okay, now from here, at the point where they pass each other, what is common? You ask yourself. In speed, there are three things. You have speed, you have distance, you have time. At the point where they pass each other, do they have the same speed? No. Do they have the same, do they cover the same distance? No, because the gold van will cover more distance than the blue van. So the only thing that is common would be, very good, thank you, Hannah and Pranati. I only have two students, the rest are sleeping. Sharon. Okay, so we have a common time. All right, we have a common time. So with a common time, again, go back to the three things. If I have time, I can find the speed and I can find the distance ratio between the blue van and the gold van. So we know that the blue van has a speed of 65, whereas a gold van has a speed of 82. Can I simplify this further? Am I able to simplify this? 65 is to 82? Can or not? Can? Cannot. So the distance covered will also be 65 is to 82. So which means that at the point where they meet or they pass each other, the distance covered by blue van is 65 unit. Okay, so this distance is 65 unit, whereas this distance covered by the gold van is 82 unit. You see this? Now, but because we know that this distance and this distance must be the same, that means the distance here would be how many units?